what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 1993 Buick Roadmaster sedan limited. Up front is a 5.7 liter V8 and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this here Buick Roadmaster for many reasons. The main reason is the fact that I recently drove another Roadmaster sedan, a 96, which was a later model. This is an earlier model, and although in the previous video I talked about the end and the death of the Roadmaster, I want to spend this video talking about the legacy of the Roadmaster. So I'm excited to share that with you today. This video was filmed in the beautiful Sunshine State of Florida. If you would like to submit your vehicle no matter where you are in the country, please head on over to zackpradle.com where there's a quick and easy submission form, and the next time I travel the country, I might be coming to you. But let's get back to that 5.7 liter V8 under the hood. Well, this engine makes 180 horsepower, which isn't all that much for a Roadmaster. However, the next year in 1994, it actually got 260 horsepower. So this is the lower horsepower 180 version. And honestly, I don't notice a whole lot of difference bouncing and bubbling around town. It still floats, it still goes, and that's what I love to see. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic, 4L60, and it's a pretty bread and butter transmission from GM. They use that in a lot of different vehicles, and I'll use that as a talking point towards the end of the video. Last but not least, this Roadmaster is rear-wheel drive, as they all were rear-wheel drive. So how does it feel to actually drive a Buick Roadmaster? Feels good. It's really, really comfortable. You don't hear the road, although it's in the name, you don't hear the road all that much. It's a very, very comfortable experience, and that's what I absolutely love about the Roadmaster. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a bunch of gauges. Moving left to right, we have voltage, temperature, speed, tachometer, fuel, and oil pressure. On the steering wheel, I don't have anything besides a supplemental inflatable restraint, it says, aka an airbag. And off to the left, I have my headlight settings as well as Twilight Sentinel. That's my automatic headlights. That's the verbiage that GM used for a couple of decades. And moving on to the door, I have my power mirrors, power locks, power windows, and power seat adjustments. So tons of buttons, switches, and knobs to be found on the door. Moving into the center, we do have an aftermarket radio placed in here because most radios from the 90s don't really hold up anymore. Then I have 2 climate control vents and the climate controls themselves. Of course, I do get auto temperature, which is a nice feature. Temperature select, fan speed, mode, and defrost, as well as I do have some warning lights down here for low washer fluid, low fuel, low oil, or low coolant. Kind of an interesting place to put the information center. Then I get a pop-out ashtray, and we get a center console with some fold-out cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 1993 Buick Roadmaster sedan, and unfortunately, it wants to pass so bad, but alas, at the end of the day, it doesn't. The Buick Roadmaster sedan does not pass the big friggin' bottle test. The rest of the center console is nice as well, and the seats are incredibly plush. This is the calling card of the Roadmaster. So sensational, so comfortable, and that to me is really, really special. However, the back seats are where you really want to be. It is such a luxurious experience in the back. Riding in the back of a Buick Roadmaster might as well be riding on clouds, and I absolutely love it. GM is very, very good at their back seats. I do get this big foam center console I can put down and rest my arm on, but overall, the space is just amazing. However, speaking of space, the trunk is also huge. Again, a calling card of GM in this era. Really, really done well is the trunk. Tons of space. Even with the spare tire, you have plenty of real estate. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I have always loved the look of the Buick Roadmaster sedan. I think its proportions are really, really well done. I think it's sort of blobby and rounded, certainly more rounded than the cars that came before it. However, I don't think it's overly rounded. I don't think it's overly spaceship out of this world-y. And that's what I really like to see. It's a very well-acquainted vehicle, as it has been in the past and will continue to be. But with that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Buick Roadmaster sedan? Well, the ride is unmatched, it's comfortable as all get out, and I enjoy the pleasurable experience. I've reviewed Roadmasters before. This wasn't anything groundbreaking, especially here on the Shooting Cars YouTube channel. However, something I did want to talk about is the legacy of this vehicle. The Buick Roadmaster ceased production on December 13th, 1996. And that plant I visited actually now makes the Tahoe, Escalades, and Yukons. And I talk more about that in my other Roadmaster review that I'll leave at the end of this one. But what happened since then? What has changed since the 90s? Well, I think it's kind of interesting to talk about. This is what's known as a B body. GM produced a platform called the B platform, and they built this as well as the Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser and a couple of Cadillacs. And yet, out of all of the cars that they made on this platform, the Buick Roadmaster seems to be the one that stood the test of time. Back in the 90s even, Cadillac guys were switching over to Buicks because of the Roadmaster. Not only does it match a very comfortable ride, but it has great features, you know, the automatic climate in here, the comfy seats, the big V8, the Dyna-Ride system, all together is a fantastic experience. And so when you see B-bodies out and about here in 2023, 9 times out of 10, it's a Roadmaster. And besides the reasons that I named just now, I don't know why. Why did this outlive so many of its other chassis mates? Why is this the most famous one? Why do people prefer the Roadmaster over those other vehicles? Were the electronics of the Cadillac just too much? Is the Oldsmobile name too embarrassing? I don't know. And I'm trying to figure that out. Please leave a comment down below why you think the Roadmaster was not only now the most famous B-body, but the one that has stood the test of time. Why did this survive when others didn't? I don't know. All I know is that I can thank Sonny for letting me take out this clean example of a Buick Roadmaster sedan. You just don't see these every single day. And I'm so fortunate to have been given the ability to drive one of these. These cars are still disappearing off our roads as time goes on. And yet this one is a prime, clean example of one of, if not the best Buick product to ever be made. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, huge thank you to Sonny for making it possible, but don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.